Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface on the live servers for Warlords of Draenor, and this is Outland Hellfire Peninsula Throne of Kil'jaeden. And where I'm coming up to here is where the world boss used to spawn, Doomlord Kazak. This is a little look of how he was back in there. So let's flip the footage over now to the PTR for patch 6.2 and in Tanan Jungle's version of Throne of Kil'jaeden, because it too has one. We have this little monstrosity here, and he is no longer Doomlord Kazak. This is Supreme Lord Kazak, and it is displaying the new remodeled Doomguard version, which Warlocks are going to get. Not the souped up version with Grimoire of Supremacy, just the regular Doomguard. This is how it's going to look like in patch 6.2. So I can't just show him off, I've got to see him in action. So let's show me fighting this bastard, shall we? Now, with first encounters, which is often the case, ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest here, it was all too brief and a wee bit disappointing. But that was because he wasn't displaying any abilities as yet, and he was pretty much just a damage sponge. He was just soak up, soak up, soak up. But if you did get him to the position where he was going to be defeated, we kind of got a situation like this on screen. Everything froze for a bit, you got disconnected. When he managed to reconnect to the game, Supreme Lord Kazak had pulled the world server down. But they put up a fresh build a couple of days later, so I was able to re-engage in combat. Now, I've got to show you the start of this fight again for one reason, which is going to become very evident very soon. I was filming another video at the time of when Supreme Lord Kazak became available to tackle in battle, and I hadn't changed one of my hotkeys over, and what I'd done to get to a new area was to use Aviana's Feather in my #1 slot, which is normally where I have my corruption spell. So I hadn't switched out Aviana's Feather, and when I went to refresh my corruption, whoosh, up I went into the air. Okay, enough of the derping, let's get down to business, shall we? Good news is, though, they've added some abilities to him. The first one up is Supreme Doom, which during its duration will reduce you down to 1 HP, or at least attempt to reduce you to 1 HP. And then after it's finished, it will explode for 50k damage to all within 8 yards. So if you do have Supreme Doom on you, and not everybody gets affected by it, he selects a group of people to cast it on. Make sure that you're 8 yards away from people. Healers make sure those people are healed up so they've got at least 51k when it explodes. If you've got damage reduction cooldowns, pop them. Health stones, pop them. You know, something that's going to keep your health levels up for when that final explosion happens. We've also got Fell Breath, where he will literally just do a cone of fell breath in front of him, so tanks make sure that Kazak is facing away from the raid. Last thing you need to do is to have him spread his muck, as somebody doesn't do the Supreme Doom correctly, spread his muck all over melee's faces. And then we've also got the Mark of Kazak, which is quite an interesting spell and ability. It will mirror all the damage and healing that you do, and then damage all allies within an 8-yard radius of you. And also, it increases your damage and healing by 100% during the duration. Now, I get affected by it very shortly indeed. So everything that you do, this is Supreme Doom again, everything that you do damage-wise, healing-wise, will literally pulsate out as damage to all allies within an 8-yard radius. And with 100% boost to healing and damage, that's going to do a lot. So if you see somebody affected by the Mark of Kazak, very easy to see, as you'll see very shortly, very easy to see, step away from them. just step away from them. I mean, this is the kind of fight where range DPS really do have to be spread anywhere. There you go. You can see somebody to my left is actually affected by the mark. They're kind of jumping around the place a little bit, affected by the mark again. So they don't really want to get involved then. We've got some twisted reflections coming in. Not quite sure what they're about or where they've come from, because he's not on the boss tab. This is the weird thing about Supreme Lord Kazak. He's not on the boss tab, so we don't know if he's a world boss. He's not dropping any loot at the moment either. His health does scale depending on how many people attack him. So yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping that he is a world boss. It might be, I mentioned this in a previous video, but I'll just reiterate it now. It might be that Supreme Lord Kazak is potentially the Ordos of patch 6.2, i.e. maybe only people that have the legendary ring can tackle it. That's just it's a guess. It's not an absolute guarantee, folks. But it just might be a guess that, you know, only people that have the legendary ring can attack it. Or maybe only people that have the legendary ring can get loot from it. You know, something along those kind of lines. Absolutely not guaranteed. This is a brain fart off the top of my head. So don't get too panicky if you're not bothering to do the legendary ring questline. But, you know, he might just pop up in that sort of capacity. Or might just be a free-for-all for everybody. But there you go. He's coming up as Fell Lord Kazak there, but Supreme Lord Kazak is his name on the live servers at the moment. No loot, so we can't see if anything gets dropped from him. Would be nice to see. But yeah, how he plays a role in 6.2, yet to be determined. But I hope you enjoyed the little scrap, and I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Those links are in the description down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. So you take care, everybody. Bye-bye.